All right, everybody. Hi, Happy New Year. And welcome to our first Wow Wednesday. This is exciting. Like, yeah, the woo, right? Kathy, love your background. Happy New Year. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Chiquita, I can't see you, so you must have walked away for a quick minute.
I did.
All right. Well, let's do just a quick hello from everybody and tell us, whatever you want to tell us. It's a new year, so what would you like to just tell us as we're jumping into 2022? And then Chiquita will do her presentation. So, Carrie, how about you?
Oh, hot seat first. Well, Happy New Year to everyone. And I think the biggest thing that I want to talk about was that I'm loving the word of the year. I haven't actually dropped that into the Facebook page yet, but I did choose the word inspire. And
okay.
That is actually one of the first times that word was used was in the Bible when Paul used it to describe the word of God. And it's God breathed. And I just think that that's such a great message for, to breathe God's word to other people and to let that be our source of inspiration is actually from the Lord. So.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Yeah, thank you. Chiquita, how about you?
Well, Happy New Year to everybody. It's an amazing year. It's off to a great start. We are thankful that we are more than one of the 800,000 people who are still here. Many people are not with us. I haven't put my word in the group, but this year it's definitely intentional. I need to be intentional about everything in my life because I know God designed us with a plan and purpose in mind, which means that we need to be intentional about everything we do personally, professionally. We were talking about our families and enjoying the time with it, and even our health, because obviously we are in the middle of a pandemic. And so our health is definitely our wealth. So for me, it's really about being intentional this year.
Great. That's an awesome word. There's so many great words. It's like, oh, maybe I want that one, or maybe I want that one. Kathy.
I'm Kathy Weaver in Kansas City, and my business is Kongan Water. And my word for this year is consistency, because I have found some of the people I help with training or their water business or authoring or whatever that looks like, consistency seems to be a shortcoming for many of us. And so I figured if I put that word out there, that would force me to use it as a training platform. So that has been my begin, shall we say, for this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think it's fun. We share a birthday. We're also sharing a word this year. And we didn't know the other one was doing it. It's so funny. So my word is also consistency. And for me, it's more because I get areas. I have areas where I'm very consistent and pleased with that, but I have areas where I'm not. And so this year I want to be more consistent in my consistency. I used to say I'm really consistent at being inconsistent, but now I've decided this year I am going to be consistent with being consistent. So there we are. And I love it that you guys are joining. And we had our first one of these in December, the Wow Wednesday. So I'm excited to see what we can do with Wow Wednesdays for this next year. And with Chiquita being our first one for the year and talking about style and dressing professionally. And then next month, Kathy is going to be teaching on how to be consistent and what a difference that can make in your life and in your business. So then, I'll get the other things planned out. And, Carrie, be thinking about it. I'd love for you to do one of the teachings on one of the Wednesdays. So I'll have you come in and do as well.
Great.
So. All right, if you guys are ready, Chiquita, I'm going to say go, girl, and then I'll get your second one ready to put up there.
Okay, awesome. Well, once again, excuse me, don't mind my thing here, my little recorder. I was trying to be one of those people that's consistent and always record all your presentations. Okay. All right. So everybody looks amazing in red. Looks like we are off to a grand year. And let's get going. Let us get going here. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So good morning, ladies. It's great to see everybody on Wow Wednesday. As Delinda said, I'm Chiquita Leak. I'm an image coach and a personal stylist and a closet organizer with over 20 years of experience. I provide professional image coaching that helps clients achieve their professional goals. I can help you elevate and transform your professional wardrobes through my customized personal styling service. My mission is really to inspire and to empower professionals to project their most authentic and confident selves through my motivating and practical presentations and training. So today, our session, first session of the year, we're off to a great start. We're talking about dressing to impress. Your professional image matters. So we're really going to divide this presentation into 3 parts. So I'm going to help you focus on elevating your professional wardrobe image to take you to the next level. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about aligning it with your company image, because whether we believe it or not, whether we own it or not, each one of us with our business, we are our own brand ambassador. When people think of our business, they think of us. Okay. So first, we're going to assess what our current business and professional image is. Second, we're going to address if any of us has any areas of opportunities there. And then third, we're just going to learn 3 strategies that are going to help us elevate our professional wardrobe this year. So as business owners, each and every one of us needs to know that whether it's 2022 or not, our professional image still does matter, whether we're on Zoom, whether we're on LinkedIn, whether we're on Instagram or any other social media or in a networking environment. No matter how formal or how informal your business environment, the way you present yourself really does have an impact. This is especially true with our first impressions. According to research done by Princeton University, people assess our confidence, our trustworthiness, and our likability in 1/10 of a second, solely based upon how you look. So that could be your LinkedIn profile, that could be your Instagram profile, that could be how we show up on Zoom or when we show up for lunch at Bonefish Grill. Thank you for picking my favorite place. Now, for every bad first impression that we make, it takes 8 positive encounters with that same person to change their opinion of you. So it's so important to quickly understand that our professional image is that outward facing presentation, whether it's our picture or how we show up in person, that we offer in a professional context. And quite honestly, if you're involved with people that you do business with personally, how we show up in our personal life, whether in person or online, impacts how they perceive us as professionals. Think about it. Our professional image influences whether people respect us and what their overall impression of us is. If you have a strong and elevated professional image, you're more likely to be able to attract more customers, more likely to be able to positively impact your existing customers. And think about our colleagues, what they think of us matters. We all want to be respected and we all want to be valued more. So what we're going to start off with is the first exercise. And thank you to Linda. Obviously, neither of us are very strong technically. That's why I need to stick to PowerPoint. It's easier. And we're going to do an exercise that's going to help us. So if you'll look in the chat and whether you want to copy, paste that, screenshot it, whatever you want to do, that's going to work for you. If you'll look at that exercise, we will begin. Because the first step is we're going to assess our current business and professional image. We're going to answer the questions that you'll see in the chat box there quickly. Have it? Are we there? Everybody that's on have access to those questions? Do we see them? If not, I'm going to read them aloud. And we're going to take 1 minute to answer each question. And Delinda, I've become like you. I use my little clock. Try to use my little clock to keep me on point. So the first question is, describe the image you want your business to project to your clients and your colleagues in 5 or less words. Now think about what your mission and or your vision statement are. Think about what you put in your marketing and your advertising collateral. What are the words when you want your clients and your colleagues to think about your business? What are the words that you want to be synonymous with? So think about those and take a minute to answer those. And I'll start my little stopwatch here. And just think of the words that just instantly come to mind. Okay, does everybody have the answer to question number 1?
Yeah.
Good, awesome. Okay, on to question number 2. Describe the image you want as a professional to project to your clients, your colleagues, and your peers. Think about your bio. When somebody's introducing you, what are the words that you want them to always say about you as a professional? And just take a minute to answer that. All right, everybody got a couple of words for themselves? Okay, all right, on to number 3. What are 3 to 5 words that colleagues, clients, and or peers have used to describe you? Think about it when you're in a setting, do they always go, oh my God, you're always on time. You are so loyal. You are just so trustworthy, or you're so bubbly. What are those words? Because those words are the impact that we're having on people. And sometimes they're not always grand. Maybe we're the person who shows up a little bit late sometimes. Maybe we're the person that's not always prepared. You know what I mean? Maybe we're the person that maybe takes over the thing. So keep those kinds of things in mind, because those are important words, especially when you hear them over and over again. So that's going to be very important. Everybody got their words? All right. Now, based upon the above questions, is your professional image aligned with your business image? Yes or no? And if you want in the chat to put 1, if your professional image is aligned with your business image. And if you feel like at this moment it's not quite aligned, put a 2. And that's nothing negative against you, because it doesn't mean that your professional image isn't good. It just means that you're not in sync with your business. And that is something that we are continually working on. I am very intentional about what I say and what I do as a professional, because I know when you provide a service, you are the spokesperson. You are the brand ambassador for your image. So the words that I say, how I show up, how I dress, I know is what they instantly think of chic images and professional stylists. So let's see what's in the chat there. We all got ones. Yay! Whoop, winning, winning. Okay, that's awesome. So we don't have any major opportunities, but obviously we're the people that showed up, and there are some amazing women in this group. And for most of the people that I have met at our Fun Fearless females, the ones that have businesses established are moving forward, and they're very intentional about how they do their business. So congratulations to you ladies. And thankfully there's nothing missing. But if you think there's something that, oh, it didn't quite line up, then think about what can I do differently with that. So now, step 2, areas of opportunities. Obviously, we don't have any major opportunities, but there might be some things you're thinking of that maybe you could do better. We all should know that in order to cultivate our most authentic and elevated professional image, we have to consider the norms of our professional industries. We're all in different industries. We need to dress appropriately, communicate effectively, be approachable, pay attention to our body language, and for some people, clean up your digital presence, because we've had a very tumultuous last 2 years. A lot of people have seemed very political, seemed very extremist in religious views. Maybe people posted some not so grand pictures of you. These are the kinds of things that maybe our clients and or our peers have access for if we interact with them personally. So these are things that we need to think about. As we embark upon our path of elevating our professional image and taking our businesses to the next level, we need to discover ways that we can enhance our image and brand while continuing to build a strong reputation. Because our reputation, we want to be based upon respect and taking responsibility for how we show up, whether it's on Zoom and or in person. So there are colors that are going to help us elevate our professional image. So obviously everybody's aligned, but I want you to consider, Delinda, do we have the second exercise in there? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Yeah, sorry, I muted myself because I.
That's okay. That's okay.
Actually, I did just put that in there, but I'm gonna go back. I mean, I
And
did.
if it's not in there, we can answer the questions and we can get it to, I can make sure that everybody has a copy of the Word document at the end. So no worries there. But I just wanted to show the importance of the psychology of color. Most of us pick the colors for our logos and all of our media, everything that we use on off media, I mean, online and offline, based upon our brand. But there's colors that we all have red on. So red is a power color, but I just wanted to help us with how can we enhance our image with colors? So first and foremost, we're gonna look at the first question of that exercise. And it is, what color do you receive the most compliments? When you wear a certain color, it's just that color that no matter what you wear, you could wear a paper bag, but if you wore it in that color, people were gonna go, oh my God, what a great paper bag that is. Because we've all worn something that's not really flattering, but if it's in that right color, for me, if I wear anything in royal blue or purple, people are like, oh my God, it's beautiful. It could be a $5 Target thing, but so we all have that color, right? You guys have your color in mind? Okay. And the second question is, what 2 or 3 colors do you wear regularly for business? A lot of us, whether we officially or unofficially have a business wardrobe, I have friends, because their business colors are blue, white, and gray, they always wear the company polo with like a pant or whatever. What are those colors that you wear? Everybody have in mind the colors that we wear? Okay. All right. Now, are the colors that you wear, I'm going to give you some explanation for colors, okay? And you tell me if the colors that you currently wear are consistent with your professional brand. So first off, red is a power color, okay? We have red on today. We're obviously coming into the new year strong. It's not a color I always wear, but I just said, let me grab this red sweater. You know, it stands out. And on Zoom, you kind of need to pop a little bit, okay? So red is our power color. So if we want to appear more powerful, because a lot of women are a little bit more introverted, so they want to appear a little bit more powerful to their clients. So red would be a great thing for somebody who wants to stand out. Maybe they don't have a really strong personality. Delinda and I, we have very strong personalities. We don't need to stand out, but we're going to. That's just who we are. But imagine if you're somebody who wants to appear more powerful, red would be a great color. Adding a red blouse, a red blazer, or even a scarf will help you project a much more powerful image. It's not about adding that color 100%, but just adding a pop of that color if you just want to appear a little bit more powerful. Then orange, if you're trying to project more confidence, excitement, or maybe you're in the healthcare field, that's a great color for you. And it's not like an all orange outfit, but maybe adding an orange blouse. Maybe a top or a sweater or even a scarf. You know, scarves are easy. Tie it around your neck. You can do a small one. However you choose to wear scarf. Ladies, look at you. You got your scarves on. Absolutely. It's an easy accessory and an inexpensive accessory. I swear to you, you could get it from Charming Charlie's. I mean, any 5-dime store, it doesn't matter. A scarf can just pop so instantly. Now, if you wanted to appear more vibrant, energetic, or intellectual, or even happy, because some people I know suffer from maybe a bipolar thing, or they just don't have the most up personality. Not an issue I have. Yellow might be grand for them. Whether you're adding maybe a yellow dress in the spring, maybe putting a yellow shirt or a top. And for those of us that live in Vegas, a cami or a shell under everything just does the trick. If you just want to add a color to it, I believe in having camis in every single color. I think every girl needs a cami in every color, because you don't really need a shirt, do you? You just stick it under your jacket or under your sweater. Now, if you want to project growth, maybe you're in a holistic field, green is your color. Wear more green. It helps you project a much more natural image. People that are in the CBD field, those type of people. What if in your professional image, you want people to, you're loyal. Now, if you're a financial person, you're dealing with people's money, their information that's sensitive. If you're looking for loyalty, trust, and intellectual, blue is your color. And oftentimes that's in legal professions, accounting, and people that are involved in our sensitive information. So they're going to obviously wear more blue suits, more blue dresses, or add more blue separates into their wardrobe. But what if you're in an industry such as, maybe you're in ministry, full-time ministry, operating a nonprofit, maybe compassion, inspiration, and femininity is what you're trying to project in pink, whatever shade works for you. Maybe wearing, adding a flowy pink blouse or some shirts or sweater or a jacket into your wardrobe can help to give you that softer. And even for women that have really strong personalities, if you want to soften yourself, pink is that color that tends to do it, because women with strong personalities oftentimes wear a lot of black. And even if you are black, add that color to it, kind of softens us up. Now, if you're in something luxury, maybe your products and services are over $1,000, royalty or spirituality, then purple's your color. I am all about all things royal purple. Everything in my life is one shade of purple, from lavender to plum. All things in my life personally and also professionally as well. So if you're trying to elevate yourself, and maybe a lot of people are elevating their services, adding a little bit more purple, maybe a scarf, maybe a blouse, maybe adding a purple dress into your wardrobe. But what if you're somebody who's trying to project a reliable, conservative, more of a natural and honest thing? Perhaps if you were selling used cars, brown would be your color. Because these oftentimes, if you're in industries where there's a low trust factor, there's certain colors. That's why, to me, marketing and advertising is absolutely amazing, because what they do with colors, whether it's in a TV ad, whether it's in print media, they do semantics with these colors and it just pulls us right in. But there's truly a psychology of color that helps. And with the handout that I will send you, it basically has all of these colors and the words associated with it. So if you want to add a few colors and maybe downplay a few colors that you've been wearing, that is important. So now, are the colors that you currently wear in your regular wardrobe, we picked those 3 colors, are they consistent with the professional image that you want to project? Yes or no? And they could be, sometimes it's like, oh, I don't really want to seem powerful, so maybe I need to tone down that red and maybe make it an orange. So is everybody pretty consistent? Well, the ladies that probably need to teach it, because apparently you ladies have got it all figured out. The only 2 colors I left out were black. Black, obviously formal, classic, and elegant. And oftentimes I say for younger, especially women, younger female professionals, if you want to come across more authoritative, wear black. When I was much younger, I only wore blue and black when I spoke. If I met, and I was in a male-dominated industry, I was in electronic security for many years, I only wore blue or black, because when you're younger, you oftentimes, no matter how much you know, you can appear less credible. So that color is a power color. Do you ever notice that female politicians wear a lot of blues and blacks, but when they're in, what do they call it? Whenever they have their big campaign speeches, they show up in red. So it's the colors, it's the play on colors. And last, certainly not least, is white. If you want to appear easy, fresh, or more simplistic, white is it. Now, obviously, for those of us that live in Vegas, we can do white year round. Kansas City, you might not want to do white pants in the winter because the mud is going to be all over. It's not going to be cute, but we can obviously add more crisp white blouses. We talked about the camis. Now in the summer and the spring, you can add maybe a white skirt, a dress, or some pants, that if you're looking for that in your image, because some people want to appear fresh, especially if you're in an older industry and you want your ideas to appear a lot fresher, white is just that clear color. So that's really a good thing. Okay, we all know nothing succeeds like the appearance of success. We just need to, when that fake it till you make it, I don't believe in putting on airs, but I believe in using every tool in your toolbox, especially as women. Business is highly competitive, especially if you're in a really competitive industry with men. everything you can do to stand out and look more credible is so, so very important. I was in a male dominated industry for many years, and I had to be extra intentional about what I wore, what I said, and how I behaved. And I'm going to tell you, as a 20 something in an industry, most of them were 50 and 60, trust me, I learned this trial by fire. First, everybody thought I was their secretary. I was someone's marketing person. They couldn't believe I owned the business. So I learned this in my 20s, which is why I am happy to teach people, because I don't want any other woman to endure what I endured. It was nothing nice, truly was nothing nice. For each of us, it's obviously about consistency, Dylan, to your word for the year, and commitment. We have to be as committed to how we show up in person, on screen, as we do with everything we put out in our business, every post we put out, every letter we send out, any interaction we have with our clients is equally as important with our professional image. So ladies, in our quest to elevate to our most authentic, because I believe that it's not about putting on airs. Oh, in my industry, there were blue suits, I'm gonna wear blue suits. It's about showing up with your most authentic self, but being professional in doing so. We don't want to look like everybody else, but we do want to be consistent with what's going on in our respective industry. Now, this does not apply to any of you ladies, but for people that probably aren't with us, and you could share it with colleagues. We've been in a pandemic for 2 years, and a lot of people have been working at home. A lot of industries, I have an online business. I literally could go a month without seeing anybody in my business and still make money. But what happened is it became pajamas, it was sweats, in the summer it was flip-flops, it was tennis shoes for a lot of people. And then when they had to come outside to see real people, we forgot we had clothes in our closet. So for a lot of people, it's going back and going, okay, now that a lot of people are back in church, we're back at doing networking events. Sometimes we got to go back to our pre-pandemic selves, because I know I was not a dress down person, but for 2 years I thought, if it's a t-shirt and jeans and tennis shoes, I'm there. Because I didn't need to dress for anybody. I didn't see anybody but friends. But now I'm like, oh, I have to be intentional. I actually have to go to church. Okay, so probably need to put the whole outfit together. Oh, a tracksuit won't work. Oh, okay. I really have to take care of all the people. Okay, so I think it was a shift for me, because I love clothes, but there was a moment where I didn't wear them. I put heels on maybe 10 times in the last 2 years. And Delinda, I wore heels to every one of our luncheons to make me show up like a big girl. Like, put your good shoes on, put your good clothes on for the company. Now, the next thing we really want to think about is our industry. Every one of us is in different industries, okay? And each industry has a norm. When you go to some conferences, it's professional attire. Some it's business casual, others it's casual. And being aware of that is really important, because if you're in a sea of people, how do you stand out? If there's 100 women in the room and we all do the exact same thing, how are you standing out in that room? And that's where, for us as professionals, how do we differentiate ourselves? Belinda, you know, I'm going to have like the boldest jewelry on in the building. That's going to be my jam. I may have all black on, but as a personal stylist and an image coach, fashion is my business. So I make sure that when I show up, I will usually do a really solid color, but I'm going to have really bold jewelry. Because if there's 100 women, because you know, in the winter, we can all show up in black, right? As we're all in red. But how would you stand out in a room of your peers selling the same products and or services that you do? I think for a lot of people, when you own your own business, it's easy because you don't have to worry about a company dress code. Like, oh, Delinda's earrings are too long. Oh, maybe so-and-so's shoes are too high, or the polish is too bright. We don't have anybody to dictate to us what we wear. So we have to really look to our industry standards and our industry norms to help us. And I always say, whatever your industry standard, like if you're going to, like a lot of people are having conferences coming up, if it's business casual, do your smartest business casual, because everybody else is going to throw on some chinos, or probably just have a jacket on, or some super casual dress. You come with the most elevated business casual there is, and maybe you dress a little bit more professional. Because I always say, when you're at an event, the only people anyone remembers is the people on the stage. So if we're all in the audience, what are we doing to stand out? And that is so important for each and every one of us. When we walk in a room, we want people to go, who's that? who are they? They must be somebody, because we look amazing. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to be a fashionista, but when you wear clothes that you look good in, you feel good in, you project, your shoulders are held back, you're much more confident, and you project a much better image. So that is so, so very important. Okay, so ladies, based upon your particular industry, that brings us to our third
Okay,
exercise.
and Chiquita, I was able
Yes.
to get the third one on there, so it's in the
Woo,
chat box.
Well,
I don't
look
know
at
why
you.
2 wouldn't go, but there's 3.
Okay, that's awesome. And I can send everybody the full document as well. So ladies, which of, I'm going to talk about 4 different professional attire. There's business formal. Okay. Then there's business traditional, business casual, and casual. Out of the 4 ladies, which is your industry norm? Is anybody business formal? Who's business traditional, where in their work environment they need some more traditional attire? Anybody business casual? Kathy, is your industry more business casual? Okay. Carrie, is your industry more business casual?
I'm in the fitness industry, so traditionally we're going to be
Okay.
casual, except for when I'm on Zoom calls or going to presentations.
Oh, so you're not going to wear your leggings and your top to show us how fit you
Well,
are?
actually, that is something I did want to ask you about, because that is kind of that blend.
Okay.
You do want to stand
Okay.
out, but then you don't want to, you want to present yourself as a professional as well, and an intelligent person with good information. And so there is kind of that juxtaposition there. So needed your help with that.
Okay, well, hey, there's 4 of us, and you know what? That's a beautiful thing. When you're in a smaller group, I think you can get more personalized attention. And for me, Delinda will tell you, I am just here to serve at the highest level at all times. I think in your industry, quite honestly, you've got to show your body, because that is what sells. And obviously, I can see that you're conservative. You're not that where you're going to have the cutouts and it's going to be super tight and super short. We know that. But honestly, what I would say to you is always show your arms. Whatever you wear, always show your legs. Because I worked out for many, many years. I ran track competitively for lots of years, and I still work out. And people to this day will say, oh my God, you have great legs. And I didn't pay attention because I do a lot of private events. When you're in the catering events industry, you're always lifting things. So you have great arms. So I would say to you, make sure that your positive attributes, because what are women always trying to work on? Women over 40 are worried about the little things on their arms. Thank God I don't have them. The bat wings. So honestly, I would definitely say to you, in the summer, wear sleeveless, because they're going to see your arms. I would do like sleeveless dresses. I would do fitted things, because honestly, I always say, if you're in a service professional, a dentist with crooked teeth, a hairdresser with nappy hair, those are just things that don't sell. So I think you have to use what you have. Your body is a testament to your competency. Because if you were my size, if you were 10, 12, I'd be like, oh, that's nice. But I wouldn't be as inclined to want to use you, because I'm like, I could do that myself. But if you're smaller, so that's kind of my long answer to it. I would wear fitted things. I don't know what brand of pants you wear, but there's just so many good brands. Beta brand, Nike does a lot of like the athleisure kind of pants. Wear things that are really smart. But definitely, I would, if you do skirts or even like a walking short, I would definitely show my arms in the summer. And if it's your thing, I would do walking shorts, or I would do skirts that definitely show off your legs, because those are the things that we're all trying to get. We're looking for flat stomachs and fitted sweaters in the winter, because a lot of people are not doing fitted sweaters because, they got muffin tuck and they've got extra, and it's a double Spanx kind of world, where it's all in. But honestly, for you, does that answer your question? Does that help you at all?
It does. Yeah. I think I am conservative, and obviously right now I'm cold and I'm at home, and so I'm kind of bundled up. But I do, when I'm training my clients, I do have a lot of fitted things, and I can't stand anything on my arms in the summertime. And so, but that does definitely help. And there's a way that I can do that that's still projects being conservative, but then also selling what I'm what I'm offering to people. So that's great
Oh, good.
information. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And a lot of the athleisure lines, I know Athleta does, and several of the workout brands do amazing dresses. They do just,
Okay.
so if you're working out and maybe you're not doing workout gear, but you're leading a class or something,
Mhm.
those are just great as well. And if you're
Okay.
going to something within your industry, instead of being everybody showing up in their Lululemon 3/4 capris, we've all got our lines on, but you've got like a super cute little dress, you know what I mean, with
Mhm.
your nice tennis shoes, you still look appropriate, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And even longer skirts sometimes are quite helpful if you're going somewhere and you don't want to have the full workout gear. Because I think I was guilty of it in my 20s. I went everywhere in my workout gear. I was like, that is not appropriate. You are not going to the gym. But you don't think about that. But we learn as we get older. We truly learn as we get older. So ladies, is your current wardrobe consistent with your industry norm? Based upon the industries that you're in, do you feel like what you're currently wearing is consistent with the norms of your industry? Kathy, you feel like you're pretty consistent?
Absolutely. Just like when Carrie said, when she's doing a presentation, it's a little bit different than when she's actually working out with the client.
Right.
Same
Okay.
thing with me. When I'm doing a water demo, it's different when I'm doing a workshop.
Okay, got it. Perfect. And it's great because we do have to understand. I always say to people, depending upon what area of my life you know me from, I have 4 different wardrobes. They're
Yeah.
all pretty set. Everything I wear is tailored. The colors are consistent, but they're very different. What I wear to church is different than what I wear when I'm speaking. When I'm organizing my clients' closets is very different than if I'm out having a personal style appointment. But I'm very consistent because it's what's appropriate for that activity and what's appropriate for that audience. Because obviously a water demo is going to be different than some of the other things that you do. And I know, Delinda, for you, when you're speaking, what you're wearing might be very different than maybe what you're wearing if we're having a luncheon or something, because it varies. For me, when I speak, it depends on the audience. I dress what's appropriate for that particular audience. If it's a much more conservative audience, I'm going to be ultra conservative. If I'm speaking to a woman's group at church, I'm going to wear probably the most feminine, frilly thing that I can find, because then it's softer. It's much more relatable, because it's about really who is your audience. It's still things I would wear in my closet, but I want to be more relatable to who I'm standing in front of. So that's always important. Like I wouldn't get on this Zoom with a suit. I have a closet full of suits. That's kind of my wheelhouse. But I've learned as I've gotten older, when you get older, you need softer suits. When you're younger, you can do harder suits because it ages you. When you get older, you want things that soften you. So that's really important. So definitely some good questions there.
Hey, Chiquita. So
Yes.
what would you call our, I don't know where we fit in on on our luncheons. So we're not really business casual and we're not overly we're
I would say we should be honestly a mix between business casual and business traditional. To me, our luncheons, we're showing up as our professional selves. So for me, I wouldn't be super casual unless because we're going to nicer restaurants too.
Yeah.
Now, if we were meeting at like a taco joint, I might have some dark denims on and a blazer. But when we're going to Maggiano's, I mean, I happen to actually know a ton of friends who work in that mall. So I usually socialize, and I'm usually online sourcing for things for my business when I'm there. So I show up because my potential clients are in that room. So I need to show up as my best self. And I do notice, based upon the industries that we're all in, we show up that way. The realtors come and there's some kind of blazer going on or some type of fitted dress. You can tell the difference between what Michelle McLeod wears, what Terry wears. You know what industries. Terry's going to always look, she looks very relatable, very approachable. Michelle has jewelry from head to toe. She got the biggest bling. She's paparazzi'd up. So I think that for me, we should all see that as an amazing networking opportunity, but also as an opportunity for us to get new clients. So if I come super casual, how can you really see me as your potential person that helps you elevate your image? Do you know what I mean?
I do. And you do show up that way. When you were talking about yourself, yeah, you do always have like the best jewelry. You look very put together. If you didn't, I would question. You're a stylist, but you don't know how to put yourself together.
That part. And it's true.
And I think that's exactly what you're saying in all of this is, and we do. I think for the most part, our ladies show up representing who they are in their business, which is how it should be. But a little bit like going to church too. We're a little above the usual. Again, part of it's because of where it is, but I think because I don't know. I think because we're all Christian women, we tend to like, this is how we just go to church, or how we all grew up used to be going to church.
And I agree with you. And I think also your role at church, because I'm going to be honest, I counsel women that go to my church. I am a part of the leadership team for our women's ministry. I'm in charge of all the events at church. So I'm the first face you see behind the scenes and in the front of every event we have at our church, whether it's an in-house event or an outhouse. So if I show up and I'm kind of disheveled, do you know what I mean? That's not a good representation of our church. And my pastor's OCD. Everything is in perfect place. Our restrooms are nicer at church than they are at most people's homes. So knowing your environment matters. So
Yeah.
I do always make sure I'm a little bit more conservative, a little bit more professional. I don't know if the pastor's wife would ask me to do something because I used to serve her. So I think our role in a place, like perfect example, if we were hosting a women's conference, let's say we were going to do a Fun Fearless Females Conference, and I'm going to say we were doing it in Vegas. It would depend. Are we the organizer or are we the attendee? Your role in something matters when you go to professional events. I always show up like I've organized the event because I don't want to blend in. You go somewhere to network, you go somewhere to meet people. If I look like everybody else in the room, nobody's going to want to walk up and talk to me. If Carrie goes somewhere and everybody's got the same Lululemon Align shorts on, we got the same crop top, we got the same little hat, and we got the same little bag, everybody's going to be like, we all look the same. But if she shows up in one of the smart little dresses and she's got her cute bag and she's got her great kicks on, they're like, oh, she's sharp, because you still have the same look, but you're more polished and you're more professional. And if you're speaking at an event like that, that might be something to wear. So I always say, show up your best self, show up as if you're at the front of the room all the time, because otherwise you're going to blend in. And I don't think any of us wants our businesses to blend in. We're not going to grow. And how do we set ourselves apart as best in class? I want to show up as an authority in my industry. And the way you do that is you show up your best self. Because I'm going to tell you, I solicit no customers. Absolutely not. I do it absolutely word of mouth. And I'm usually hoping they've seen me somewhere. And someone's like, oh my God, Chiquita in my closet. And they're like with the whole thing with the pictures, or did you see these clothes she got me? And so then when I show up, they're like, oh yeah, I could see, I could trust her. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And also I'm in people's homes. And a lot of my clients have $1 million homes. Who do you leave in your home for 5 or 6 hours? Nobody's locking safes. I'm in there with all your stuff. So if I don't show up as someone credible, someone trustworthy, they're going to be like, oh, you used her. Oh, okay. You know what? You've seen that where you see the contractor and you're like, he looks like the worker. Because even a contractor, when the guy shows up and he's got like the shirt with his name on it, it's not too dusty, dirty. At the end of the day, it can be dusty, dirty. Not when you show up at my house at 6 a.m. because it looks like you wore it yesterday, right? So I don't think you're like the most professional person. My best friend owns a property preservation company. She shows up in the company polo shirt. She has 2 because maybe she has to do some work. She doesn't want to come to Delinda's house and her shirt is like dusty because she's walked through someone else's home. So it truly is important how we show up every single day. And I just believe that I'm preaching to the choir, and the women, a lot of women who needed this workshop are not present. And hopefully in the future, we can do something for them, because you always know who's best in class. It's how they show up. They show up on time. They show up with the right attitude. They take notes and they participate. And this is this is what best in class looks like. And I'm going to tell you, Delinda, and not because you're here, is that's what I feel like with the luncheons. I have said to everybody, I lead a commercial real estate group. We have not met during the pandemic. I've just not been bothered. They're very random people. You know, different people come every month. And I thought, my partner and I said, we just didn't want to be bothered. But your group is the only in-person networking group outside of anything in church that I've done, because the women there are very professional. I know that everybody's taking care of themselves. You know what I mean? And so it really does matter how you show up. And you are the reason why I come out. If you didn't show up the way you showed up, honestly, I've not done any in-person networking since I went to Black Enterprise Woman of Leadership March, the month that we got shut down. I went 2 weeks before. That was the first noted COVID case in Las Vegas, was at the Mirage. I was at that conference. It was the last public event that I went to, very high power thing. And trust me, I said to my girlfriend, we're going to be suited and booted every day. These are powerful women from all over the world. We do not know who we're going to meet here. And I can tell you how many people stopped us because we showed up like we were the organizers. And so that really does matter. So ladies, I know that you will every day continue to work on showing up your best self so that you increase your influence, your impact, and potentially your income, because you're making your professional brand a top priority. Because every day we have to aspire to dress to impress by presenting our most authentic professional image, because it says we're confident, we're credible, we're trustworthy, and we're approachable. Thank you so, so very much.
Oh, that was awesome, Chiquita. And we are like almost at the top of the hour. I know, I think Kathy has a meeting she's got to get to. We've been trying to like make this stay within our time frame. I do have it recorded. So I'm going to invite those who are watching, because it is recorded, and my plan is to make it available to the rest of the ladies in the group. If you want to reach out to Chiquita, Chiquita, put your info right there in the chat box real quick. And just want you to really think about it. You gave some great points today. And like I said, I think most of the women that I've seen that have ever showed up at a lunch and stuff really know they do these things, although I'm not sure they know why they do them. So how you presented it with like what colors you wear and all of those things really makes a difference. And we are going to have a WOW conference. I'm just waiting for God to direct me. Okay, when is the time right? And so when we do, I want you to be on the stage talking about some of this stuff, because I think it's so beneficial to so many, well, to everyone who's out there, whether they're actually in business or not, but particularly if they are. So thank you so much for being here. Carrie and Kathy, you want to give just one thing that you learned today that you can share with Chiquita before we go off?
I think the power colors are super important, and the branding consistency is amazing. The other thing that I liked is the words that you had us use to describe our business and our presence, and see how those correlate. And I thought that was very cool.
Oh, thank you so much. God gave me that. He totally gave me that.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, for me, it's showing up as if you're the organizer and as if you're the one that's in the front of the room, and that there is an ability to be able to stand out even despite being in a casual environment. You can still stand out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I, many years ago, did a series called Advance Yourself as an Expert. And that is one of the key things, because not related to this is any industry you're in, I would beg everybody, whatever professional organization you belong to, get on a board. Join a committee, get on a board, because then you're in the front of the room. That gives you more credibility. When the referrals come in, they always go to top brass. They don't make it through to the line people. That's my real estate investment group. That's in everything that I do, even in church. The people in leadership get the referrals. They never make it down to anybody else unless we trickle them down. So I always say, look like you organized it, but also always be the person who's not at the back of the room. Even if you're not at the front of the room, be on a committee, be on some type of board or something, because it does make a difference, because people then perceive you as the expert. Because you're going to be the person that they ask to speak. You're going to be the person that they say, oh my God, we need to talk to Carrie. It's the beginning of the year. We need to talk about some better workout habits. How can we eat better? What can we do? Oh, she's on that board. We always see her on social media. Those are the people that they reach out to, not just looking the part, but when you're active in your respective industry and your community. And our churches are there. Whatever industry we're in, I always say volunteer to do something that's within your wheelhouse of your business, whether it's to your women's ministry or in some capacity, like Kathy, if your church isn't already involved in water, when they're talking about health, wealth, all those sorts of things, when we're talking about that, telling people the water you drink does matter. A lot of the water has cooties in it.
All right. Well, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you again, Carrie. Carrie. My brain was looking at Carrie's picture, and
we're 3 C's. That's why.
I know.
3 C's.
I'm going to turn off the recording just real quick. Hang on one second. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. See you next month, the first Wednesday of every month on Wow Wednesday.